Welcome to Been Thinking with Young Morpheus, formerly What I've Been Thinking with Marcus Cage. Of course, I am Marcus Cage, and also I am Young Morpheus. In this video here, I have something special for you. I took a little trip to visit some family and friends over the holiday, and I wanted to share some of these videos and photos for you. And I was lucky enough to have my mom out with me. And so my mom drove me around all over the city to see a bunch of different things. We got some really cool videos for you. And there were other places which I plan to go later on and get some good video for you guys. But for the places I wasn't able to get to on this trip, I made a little montage of all kind of cool things about Kansas City. So hopefully you enjoy, and thank you for joining me, Mom. That way they can get a look, see what it's like coming from the Kansas side into Missouri. That's Kansas City, Kansas, crossing into downtown Missouri. And I can see those humps right there. That's the Symphony over there. And I can see the that Power and Light building. You can see some of those older hotels there still.
Yeah, we got a couple of Missouri right here. Missouri. Yeah, Missouri now.
I'm surprised they haven't rebuilt that old bridge over there. Oh, I forgot about this smell. The stinky Missouri River. Ooh, that smacks you in the nose.
It sure does. Yeah. That's how you know you're in Missouri, with that smell.
One of these times I'm going to do a real street view version of this so everybody can get a better view of some of this stuff. More extended.
That's what I want you to do so that I can hook it up to my rear view mirror and I can drive around and people can see. Like, see, this is where the trolley down here now. We have the train.
Oh, they brought the trolley back.
Yes, we have it.
Cool.
And they just approved to get more, to
that's
extend it too. You got two things that's happening today. Is one, you have Friday, Black Friday. So a lot of people.
Well, it's a
are
lot of
off
these people
today.
is Good Friday.
A lot of people are off today because of the holiday yesterday. Look at them folks. Is he doing a Friday, Black Friday? So a lot of people.
Well, it's a
are
lot of
off
these people
today.
is Good Friday.
A lot of people are off today because of the holiday yesterday.
Yes, he is doing wheelies.
Oh my God.
Both of them are doing wheelies all the way up the street.
That's something that's not allowed.
Oh, I know it's not allowed, but that don't mean people are not going to do it.
So, yeah, a lot of people that are still at work. That's what we were trying to I was trying to come make sure we could beat that traffic.
Even traffic down here is not really traffic.
Okay, now. So the street car goes that way. So we have to go this way. All right, be careful, ladies. Don't go this way. Much smaller it is.
Yeah. Well, I mean, honestly, it looks, when you're going through it, it can be deceiving and not feel as big. Honestly, LA's downtown is not super big. Might be more spread out. Well, what the difference I would say is there's more of like a once it starts getting into like the midtown areas where it's starting to kind of go away from downtown, it continues to be still large. Whereas here it starts to get smaller.
If I would have been thinking, I would have went and got my windows, my car cleaned. So it would have been a little bit clearer for you.
No, it's not bad. Chiefs fans.
Look at that guy wrapped in the flag.
They must have some event going on down here.
Mm-hmm. was gonna say I should brought me a bottle of water, but I guess I have some in the back. I just hate all these old doggone one-way street.
That is one thing that's definitely big about Kansas City. It's one-way streets.
So you be on doing one thing, and next thing you know, you gotta.
Now you're easily going down the wrong way. In the Power and Light District. So it looks like the trolley goes through all of these areas too. And you can tell by the cording at the top. Well, of course, if you don't look down the road.
There's some new buildings over there.
Oh, yeah.
They just put up.
It's kind of interesting seeing some new mixed in with some of this older stuff that's been here.
Look at that streetcar.
Yeah, because that's new, but the buildings over there on the left are old. And just fit it right on in. You don't even notice the difference. Oh, there's the symphony over there. So a lot of people don't realize that the Lincoln Memorial here is the World War, I get a little tongue-tied saying it, the World War I National Museum. Just like the World War II is the mall which they have in Washington D.C. And next, which I just showed you guys, was Union Station. Now we are going to swirl into and show you all the inside. If you guys see that very lit up building you often see at Chiefs games and all that, this is that building they normally use in the backdrop. In that mall area, which some of you have seen on one of my other channels as my background, is that area which we show going across there over to here. So we will see you on the inside. now we are going up to the memorial. So you take this little side road and it'll take you up there, and there's a walking path. You can take those stairs right on up, but we're gonna come up the drive. Apologies for the sun. Yeah, that helped a little bit, but we're gonna be turning away from it. So as you creep on up here, you will be able to actually see it. And the area that's called the mall, which you see right in front of it, the same way which you'd see in the World War II memorial that is in Washington, D.C. Now, granted, this one is not as large, but it's basically a similar version of the one you have in D.C., just on a smaller scale. But one thing which they often show you is they'll show you the large pillar, which is there. But what you often don't see is the museum part, which you see at the base of it. Actually, that's something new, which I've never noticed before. Let me zoom that in, see if you guys can see it. That is actually, looks like some kind of a man there. And his body is going all the way to the length of that tower. When you get up there at the top, you actually see that there is a museum there. All right, here we go. In the Liberty Memorial, National World War I Museum and Memorial, this way. First I'll show you, this part back here is the mall. Growing up, I used to have all kind of functions that would be right there in the middle of the mall. You know, classic cars and stuff be parked along the side and all kind of things. But this is where you come down into the actual museum, which is down here at the base. And up here, a couple more statues. Let's go up and get a closer look. It's kind of weird. It almost looks a little Egyptian-like. Yeah, it almost looks like two sphinx, which you see with their wings covering the faces. There's one there. There's the one here closer to us. And it says here at the base, in honor of those who served the World War I in defense of liberty and our country. Dedicated November 1st, 1921, in the presence of Marshal Foch, Admiral Beatty, General Pershing, which you'll see some of the roads in Kansas City are Pershing Road, General Diaz, General Jaquez, Vice President Calvin Coolidge, Robert Alexander Long, President of the Liberty Memorial Association, guests of the American Legion. And let's go all the way up. Remember that face that we saw all the way up there? See how high it actually is up. And it looks like it's going all the way around. And it looks like if you come up here, you can see a really good look of the city. So let's go see. And this is the view you guys see often if you watch Monday Night Football. They're always showing this view right here, overlooking Union Station. and all the stuff that you see in the background behind it. And as you can see, the trains moving down there. Oh yeah, forgot this one last part. If you come over here, you can actually decide to go in to the tower itself. I wanted to come back and get one more shot because apparently it looks like I can see what we used to call a Sprint Center, but it appears to say the T-Mobile Center now. Alright, can you see that? Let's go in a little closer. And yes, it does say the T-Mobile Center now. Let me go ahead and go around. So you collect your $200 salary, you go to the Scout, then Lewis Park, of course the railroads, Fountain and Mill Creek, the Rosedale Memorial, Western Auto. Then you come around, you have the Linda Hall Library, Feral Gas, not familiar with that, Union Station, where we just left from, then the Nelson Atkins. Come across to the Power and Light District, local market, Zona Rosa, onto the barbecue capital, H.J. Riker Co. Cafe, I guess, not sure. And museums at 18th and Vine, which 18th and Vine is where you have the Jazz Museum and the National League Negro Museum. And then Crown Center and one of the local casinos, Argosy Casino, Hotel and Spa. Then let's come around. You have the Kansas City Speedway, Sporting KC, the pro soccer team, Gaia Field at Arrowhead Stadium, the River Market North District. Then you have Country Club Plaza here, and where we are now, the National World War I Museum and Memorial. And here is the inside. It's pretty cool. One part of it looks a little damaged over here, but overall it is pretty neat. And this right here is the Kansas City Federal Reserve Bank, or as you see it right there, Federal Reserve Bank of Kansas City. Statues there. And right here, a lot of cities don't know, every city doesn't have a Federal Reserve Bank, but actually Kansas City is one of the cities that have it. So if you look on some of your coins and money, some of them might actually have the stamp and seal where you can see that it was made in certain cities, and some of them might be made here in Kansas City. And as you all can see here, here is another, looks like, project being built up. One thing you'll learn about Kansas City, you'll get used to the color orange. And it's not because you're a Denver fan or a Florida Gator fan, it is because there is always construction going on, which can be a good thing or a bad thing. And this, I believe that's a Catholic church over there, which that's one thing I used to say about the Catholic churches, which I would see, well, I guess that's Episcopal church. They were always really good about doing their community outreach and feeding the homeless. Though I disagree with them on doctrine, but I do commend them for what they do for the community. And this area right here, which we're heading to, we're still on Main Street right now, but this is headed to, looks like Midtown, right, Mama? Going towards the plaza. So that's going to be fun. See you guys all there. And now we are coming up on the plaza. And right here, I guess because it's getting a little colder, they don't have the fountains going as usual. But for those who do not know, Kansas City is known as the City of Fountains.
fountains in Kansas City than any other place in the United States. The only place in the world that has more fountains in Kansas City is, I believe it's Rome. There we go. Some nice mural on that wall over there. Couple of the restaurants, fine dining PF chains if you like that. We got the Cheesecake Factory over here. Now, typically at night, you will see right now. No, you did not. They just decided to walk on their own. And that happens. People do that.
Of course.
It is Kansas City. But oh, Brazilian steakhouse, that seems interesting. But last night it was the lighting of the plaza, and I don't know if you guys can see, looking a little close, there are lights across all of these buildings, and they what is it, on Thanksgiving they normally hit the lights and click all of them on. And so at night it's a quite different sight, but showing you a little bit of it, and I might add a still snapshot of what the plaza looks like at night from an overview. But this is just kind of how the shopping and everything goes during the daytime. It's normally a very busy area, a lot of people floating around all over the place. Watch out, watch out.
Come on. Oh, you got it on that side. Oh my goodness gracious. Woo.
So there's a Coach store. There's a lot of high-end stores in this area. Mixture. You have some kind of just average stores, but have some very nice high-end stores also. You also even have a little area where there's some apartments and stuff in this area. Another thing I would say, I don't know if you guys noticed some of the architecture, but this is one part that's a little different in Kansas City. You have some Spanish architecture, and then you might have a little bit of a mixture of a couple of other architectures also. But that is something which is unique about it. It's a pretty big Seventh-day Adventist church. But yeah, there we go. Just a little snapshot for you all to look at. Big Charles Schwab, as you guys all know, most of the biggest buildings in most cities are going to be banks. But just want to show you that. Even the decorative parking structure, which you'll see there. Oh, that was a Banana Republic. That's what that is. Moose jaw. Interesting. Atleta. Oh, he got a little radio on this thing. Interesting. And I guess that direction is Luce Park and the Nelson Atkins, which we are going to next. Ooh, yeah. Got the sun there. And as we come out of the sun, there's a giant shuttlecock right here. There we go. No, that's all right. And this is the back part of the Nelson Atkins Museum. One of the more prominent museums here in Kansas City. One of the ones which, as a kid, I've had the pleasure of going to multiple times. Check out the beautiful homes here. Imagine being somebody to be able to live right here next to the museum, as my mom just alerted me to, that it is still free to go to the museum.
So we're gonna come around this back side, see a little bit more. There's a couple more outside sculptures. Never sure what that was, but it is art to somebody. Art is often the eye of the beholder, so whoever beheld that must have thought it was beautiful. We'll leave it at that. And here we are coming down the back side. As you can see, we're coming down the hill and wrapping around the corner. And there's going to be a little part where you'll be able to see another back part of the museum there, as we see. And then there's a couple of stairs where you can go in and out of these sides. But as we come around to the front side of it, you'll be able to see, I think there's another large shuttlecock, which you'll see out there. A couple of other statues, which you see. And right here's a sign to let you know, the Nelson Atkins Museum of Art. And nice statue there, not sure what that is exactly. And it's also a very interesting one there, that tree. A bunch of very large sculptures out on the lawn. And not only was that one shuttlecock we saw around the front, there are shuttlecocks all over. And here we go, about to pass across the front of the museum. Park here we're starting at is Loose Park. It's Union Artillery Tour Stop 6. At the time of this recording, sadly I can't tell you exactly who Jacob L. Luce is, but I've always known about Loose Park growing up. It's I guess it's his memorial park. Actually, I didn't even know it was Jacob L. Luce. I only known it as Loose Park. It's known for a lot of the huge gardens and roses and everything in here. And this looks like his commemorative park, where it looks like somebody has a little cookout going over there. And as we go all the way down deep inside of it, it's a park which you can kind of walk through. You'll have some people jogging here and there. I know when it gets a little cold, people use those hills for riding down. I can see little kids playing soccer over there. Sledding, that's what I was thinking of. And as you go throughout this whole entire park, it's normally like a lot of just giant rose bushes and all kind of things like that. There's a nice little duck pond. Look at that nice house right over here. Right here, as you can see, the walking trail. Nice little sunset starting to appear, so it might obstruct your view just a little bit. But yeah, a lot of people in the local area do like to walk through here. And I'll make sure to add in some steals for you all later. Some of these houses. This right here is just a little bit of the neighborhood that is around Loose Park. Some of the houses, as you can see, pretty nice, many of them. And the thing about it, believe it or not, many of these houses are pretty old. How old would you say a lot of these houses are, Mom?
At least 100, early 1900s.
Early 1900s. And as you look at many of them, they look like they could easily have been, you know, built no more than 20, 30 years ago. And you also have lot of trees and stuff over it, give you a little bit of a scenic view. Yes, very manicured lawns and everything.
I wouldn't say that you could just decide to move into one of these tomorrow, but depending on your budget, who knows?
Like the White House is there.
These are some nice houses. This area that we're going through right now, this is Ward Parkway. And Ward Parkway actually takes you right down to the plaza where we were just at, and the whole Brush Creek area that rides right down along the side of it.
I'm trying to remember, what is that, Rockhurst? Is that their school over there, Rockhurst?
Oh, look at this one. This one's more modern style. Very interesting. And over here, it looks like they're doing a little bit of work on this house, refurbishing it. As you can see, some of these houses, various different styles. You're not just going to see one typical type of house. Many of these you can tell that were built particularly to whatever specifications that the person wanted. Nice, interesting driveway where you can ride in and ride back out. And it's also not difficult for them to get out of their driveways, as you can tell, because it's not.
Well, and now we are approaching the T-Mobile Center, which was, when it was first built, called the Sprint Arena. Looks like a big glass bowl almost. Almost got to back that up a little bit. You can see that a little better. I guess there must be some kind of event going on here tonight.
I guess you can't get through, so I'm going to have to turn around.
So we'll have to turn it around here. I was getting that over there. Isn't that the Kansas City Star?
Uh-huh.
The Kansas City Star over there, that's a major newspaper. The main newspaper of Kansas City. And up ahead from the back you can see the Western Auto sign there. I guess we're gonna go across here and you get a little bit better view of the Kansas City Star. There it is from the side.
Hopefully you all enjoyed that video. I clipped together as many things as I could from my vacation, and I threw in a couple of stills and stop shots for some of the areas I wasn't able to actually go and walk through, and a couple of things which I threw together a little collage for you at the end, so you can check out some of the different places in Kansas City that you might want to go to if you visit. And if you live there and you don't know some of those places, it'd be probably cool for you to check out some of those things also. Hopefully you guys all enjoyed. Thank you.